Is that a breakup?
I think we have a situation right here.
On the filling station.
Hello?
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Have I caught you at a good time? Because this is very early for me.
For me, it's like perfect because it's already like 35 degrees
Jeez,
this side.
35 degrees.
Yeah.
Man,
And this is like cool.
it's cool.
It's a morning.
I guess we better make the best of it whilst we can, right?
Yeah, before I start like dripping on my device.
Welcome to the filling station.
Yay, I'm here.
Yeah. Just need to let you know that I'm recording an episode of the podcast, so please do your best not to say your name, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and for those who are listening to this for the first time, it's a podcast that touches on breakup stories that people would like to talk about with the view to give you, the listener, lessons that you can learn from today's story. And part of the reason why this podcast is doing great is that we do our best to keep our guests anonymous, which brings me to the exciting part. I'm going to give you the name I'm going to call you for the duration of this episode.
Okay, that's awesome.
Are you ready for this one?
Yes. I want to feel like an actress today.
Like an actress, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so for your name, I've gone over to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC.
Mm-hmm.
And your name is Aluna, which is Aluna.
Aluna, okay.
Yeah, and it's got a bit of a, I don't know, it's not really a relatable meaning for anything I could think of. It means come here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's-
This is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect for the story. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, really? Does come here mean something for your story?
Oh, okay. You're going to get there. You'll get it. Oh, my goodness.
My good. Okay, just when I thought it was a bit of a blah meaning, it's got a
Oh my
relatable meaning.
Chintu, it's like you're in my head, I swear.
Oh man, honestly, I really don't know how this happens. It happens all the time. Maybe I should give a shot at being a sangoma. What
Do
you
it.
think?
Do the things. Get your money.
Isn't?
Get your money. Get your money.
Right, now here's the fun bit for you. What name are you giving the guy you're going to talk about?
Gosh. God. I don't know. Fred. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Just a plain name.
We'll go with Fred. Yeah, we'll keep it simple. So this is a story about Fred and Aluna,
Yeah.
right? And what would you like people to learn from the story that you're going to share today?
I was actually trying to look for where I wrote this down. But anyway, off the top of my head, the first one would be sometimes you create your own stories in your head,
Okay.
you know. And then when you create these stories, the minute someone else comes in with any hint of like, like as though they're part of your story and then you incorporate them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you create the whole story in your head. And sometimes that doesn't always, come together. Like the fairy tale that you create in your head is just that. It's just a fairy tale. It's not real life.
I see. So pretty much don't create stories in your own head because fantasy and reality could be very different.
Very different. They're completely different things.
Okay.
And then another one is sometimes it's just best to leave your past in the past. People don't need second, third, or any chance after the first, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just wasting your time.
That's interesting because one of the episodes, I say this all the time. Somebody said relationships are not like baseball. Pretty much first strike and you're out.
Yeah, for sure.
The first strike you should get out.
Hey, there's 7 billion of us, hey? So there's really no need to be going back to the same people.
Yeah. Did you have a third lesson?
The third lesson would be, I guess it kind of goes back to the whole first chances, second chances thing. But I feel like whatever memories you make with someone, like just preserve them as they are. If something was beautiful in 2005, leave it as a beautiful memory of 2005. Or 2015, 2020. Just leave it as that. There's no need to try and, open up that Pandora's box again or try add to it or remove from it. Just leave it like that. It's a memory. It's part of your life. It creates what you are today.
And make the best of whatever moment you had and cherish that for what it was at the time.
Take it like a book that you read and you enjoyed you can revisit it, but it's the same story. It's not going to change.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, if I sound wise. Huh?
Oh, very wise. Very, very wise. So, shall we crack
Gosh.
into the story then?
Okay, cool. So for my story, please forgive me.
Yeah.
It's gonna go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start at the middle.
Oh, you're gonna start in the middle. Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Go for it.
middle. So beginning of last year, I had just broken up with the father of my kids. So culturally, I guess he's my husband because we'd done the lobola stuff and all that. But we hadn't like signed legally, no white dress and all that. So I don't know what to really call him other than the father of my kids.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had a very small child at the time, and I was feeling, insecure and blah, 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 blah. And I'd actually started a new job. So I was just a mountain of stress on the inside. But on the outside, I was glowing because I'd just come out of this really bad relationship.
Yeah.
And I was processing in my own way. So anyway, this is around February, Valentine's time, right? And I'm going through my mental files and thinking of, when was the last time I had a beautiful Valentine's Day and blah, 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 blah. Just thinking of the past, basically. And lo and behold, I get a LinkedIn message from my ex. From like when
LinkedIn message, I know about Facebook Messenger, Instagram, but LinkedIn,
It's so random, right?
Yeah.
And this is someone who I'd pretty much deleted on all my social channels,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason why I deleted him, so this is how I'm going to go back in time.
Okay.
When I moved to the country where I'm in now, I moved straight after university. I moved here, and Fred sends me a WhatsApp message. This is when WhatsApp was like new.
Yeah.
And he's like, where you at? What's going on? I'm thinking about you. We used to had a relationship. In the last part of high school, like A level. Yeah. So this is texting me just after university. So this is like 5 years later, and we went to the same university, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And he's like, so I'm asking him. So take note, I've moved to a different country, right?
Yeah.
So I've moved from Wakanda to Wakanda's neighbor, basically.
Wakanda's
neighbor. He's like,
okay.
So I'm in Wakanda North.
Wakanda North. Yes.
And then he's like, let's give us a chance. I really loved you at some point, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Cool. But where are you at? Like, you realize I'm in a different country. You've texted me on this number. It's a different code, right? So you know that I'm in a different place. Like, yeah, I know you're there, but, we can make this work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And I know this person is like a very pro Wakanda forever. This is the best country ever. I'm not leaving this place, And I've moved to Wakanda North. And I'm like, dude, how is this going to work? And then he's like, you know what? I don't even have a passport. That's how much faith I have in this country. And I'm like,
wait a minute.
Well,
so
if you don't have a passport and I'm in a different country.
Yeah. Yeah, how is this going to work?
Yeah. And I'm like, exactly. And then he's like, leaves it in the air. And then I was like, completely blocked him. Like, I didn't even have to send another message. And this is the same night that I then met my baby daddy. So I was like, hey, I'm in a good place. Wakanda North is cool.
Yeah.
People like this, I'm in a good, Anyway, I digress. So that was the last time I spoke to him. LinkedIn in 2019. Hi, Aluna. What's going on? I saw something about you in the professional circles and you're doing really well. I'm proud of you. And I'm like, hey, thanks. I'm proud of me too. Right. And then he's like, so I left Wakanda. I'm now in
Wakanda South.
Might as well just say this. I know it's like way developed, I guess. So it's not Wakanda. It's now like, I don't know. Let's call it Neverland.
Okay, Neverland. Okay.
Yeah, there's now a Neverland, right? And then I'm like, oh, okay, wow. So you're Wakanda. And he's like, yeah, I left. You know how things are in Wakanda. Things are not good. I decided to really go for it, go deep in my career. That's why I'm really proud of you, that it looks like you're doing the same for yourself, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what's going on in your life? And I'm like, let's just talk on WhatsApp, And so I don't know if this is where the first lesson or whatever comes in. It's very easy. It was a conversation between Aluna, myself, and Fred
Mm-hmm.
was very, very easy.
Okay.
This is someone I knew when I was very young, and I really did love him, and I opened up to him in a very deep way.
Yeah.
So when we started talking, it was so effortless. Like we were sending each other pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about, like he knows my relatives, I know his relatives.
Mm-hmm.
It was like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And it was really, really pleasant considering where I was at mentally, because I was putting on this brave face to the world.
Yeah.
But I felt like to him, I can just be myself
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
And it felt so amazing. It really, really did.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I'm going on, I've got 2 kids now, just got out of this relationship, and then I asked him what's going on with you. He's like, I'm not married. I have no kids. I've just moved to this new place. There's really nothing I can talk to other than I'm now in Never Never Land.
Yeah.
And I can see my trajectory changing. He was a very smart boy.
Yeah.
And I assumed he was a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
Right. So we're sharing. I mean, we're talking because he's in a different time zone. So, we're planning our conversations according to our time zones.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to him into like the wee hours of the night on my end up until he starts, because he was now doing, what is it called? A postgraduate something.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was in class. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, I'm like, okay, great. I'm happy for you, blah, blah, blah. But, there's only so much you can do over the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of catching up.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he's like, part of his program or whatever was he would be able to come to Wakanda South,
Okay.
which is close to Wakanda North.
Yeah.
Wakanda, right?
There's a lot of
Oh my
Wakandas
gosh,
here.
it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
I hope I don't get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and I'm like, dude, if you come all the way from there and you're country, clearly you have to come and see me.
Yeah,
and
of
he's
course,
like,
yeah.
but it's school. I literally am there for this number of days, and I can literally squeeze in a day, if we meet
just one day
in the same country. And for me, it's it's like a 30-minute flight to get there.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm in. If you're in, I'm in. I'm excited and all that. I mean, I haven't seen this person
in ages, yeah.
And I'm trying to, what's the word? I'm trying to get my groove back. Aluna's trying to get her groove back and all that. So she's okay, cool. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in for it. And we're talking like he's being incredibly, as far as I'm concerned, honest with me. He's telling me about his life. He's telling me what he wants to do. He's like showing me his job offers, how much he's going to get. And then he's like, I want to take you somewhere after we meet. Like, he's like, okay, in as much as, okay, we're forcing this one day together. In a few months' time, I'll be in a position to take you anywhere you want to go in Africa.
Nice.
I want to explore Africa and I want to explore that with you. So we can take a week off together and just, connect. And I was like, wow. And we're talking. So this was in February, right? And he was coming to Wakanda North or South, wherever it is, a month later.
Okay.
So we had this buildup of like 3 days and we're talking constantly. It's amazing, And then because we went to the same high school, I then told one of my friends.
Oh, yeah.
That, I connected with Fred. I don't know where it's going, but it's pleasant to be in this space mentally after all that I've been through.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, Fred, huh? Oh, is he in Never Never Land? And I'm like, yeah, he is. And like, oh, okay, that's cool. Anyway, he was a bit of a player, hey, when he was here in Wakanda. And I'm like, well, I mean, come on, we all had our days in our 20s, you know, figuring life out.
Yeah.
And I'm not really taking things seriously. And he's like, oh, okay. I mean, like when I say player, I mean like serious player. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It is what it is. I mean, he's in a different country. I'm in a different country. I'm not looking for anything.
Okay.
And he's like, okay. And she's like, okay, cool. And I leave it at that. Oh yeah. Then I don't know. Can I talk about sex on this show?
Of course.
Point to note, when we were younger, we were like, okay, when we finish school, we're gonna give ourselves to each other. This is me and Fred. Right?
What did that mean?
Like we're gonna lose. Well, I assumed we're both virgins. We're like gonna lose our virginity to each other.
Okay.
That's what we had told ourselves,
Okay.
saying that when we finish school, we're going to do that. We're going to go to the same university. We're going to do whatever. So we're like, yeah, we're going to do this. And we even planned a trip to do this. So this whole trips together thing, it was very nostalgic. It wasn't like a once-off thing. It felt, that's why it felt so
Okay.
special to me. Like, he
Oh,
still
right.
feels the same way.
Yeah. So
You know, this is in my head, right?
it was literally a trip down memory lane, isn't it? This is what we used to do when we were younger, and and it's
Exactly.
coming back to life in our adult life. Okay.
Exactly. Actually,
Yeah.
it's more like we're fulfilling it because we didn't end up going for the trip,
Okay.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, this is our time, and now we're older and, no one is scared of, body parts or anything,
Yeah. Yeah. No one is scared
So,
of body parts.
no, so I mean, not a
Yeah.
new concept anymore. I mean,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and he's an adult. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then fast forward, he comes. Oh yeah, so a few days into him coming to Wakanda, the Wakanda region, I'm like, nah, bruh, I'm not gonna come to your country.
Oh, why?
I was just being difficult, just being a woman.
Why?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, another thing is I didn't want to spend money. I was like, nah, there's no way I'm gonna spend money on this man. I don't know him like that. And I want to see if he's invested.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, you come here, come to where I am, come and see what my life is like. I will find a beautiful place for us and we will just have a beautiful 24 hours together. They just a little bit of Christmas will just be our own little Christmas time. Yeah. It wasn't Christmas time, but you get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So then he's like, okay, cool, but come on, that's not what I had in mind. And I'm like, yeah, take it or leave it. And take note, he's already in the country, he's already changed his flights. Jeez. So he's like, damn. He's like, damn, okay, I'm coming, right? So at that point, it was a joke in my head, like it wasn't real. Then when he's like, okay, sending me his flight details, I'm like, oh gosh, this is real.
You sound like you almost panicked a little bit there when you realized how real it was.
No little bit, eh? It was a whole lot of panic.
Really?
Oh my gosh, this person last saw me when I was a size 30 or 28, when I was tiny and beautiful and innocent and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Now I'm a whole woman. I am, completely different. Oh my gosh, what is he gonna think? So I'm like panicking like a little girl. And then, so it's panic and it's excitement at the same time. So much excitement because I'm like, wow, this is it,
Yeah.
We're gonna be together, it's gonna be beautiful. I didn't really think of life after that, but I was really, really excited about that 24 hours. I was like, this is gonna be my pocket of sunshine. So I panicked so much that I actually ended up taking the day off from work. He was coming in later on in the evening, but I couldn't even work. So I was just like,
your body,
and I was like, can I just?
Your body couldn't process what was coming, and you're like, nah, can I just have the day off?
The body and the mind. I don't even know how I drove to the airport. I literally don't know how I got there. It must have teleported there with my car.
Wow, this is mad. Yes.
Anyway, so then I get to the airport. It's like his flight was a little bit delayed, and I'm like, okay, cool. I had a mojito. I've never had a mojito that fast in my life to date, because I was like, I gotta be, warmish, ready.
Yes.
And then so then his flight arrives. I'm having a cookie now because I don't have real taste buds. I'm just weird. So I'm having a cookie now, and
this is hilarious. Jeez.
I'm being as honest as I can. I want you to feel like you were there.
Yes, I told him I'm really visualizing all of this.
Gosh, Fred arrives. I see him. He's still the same tall, graceful person that I remember, but he's older, and to me, he's like, wow. He's like yummy as far as I'm concerned. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I see him, I hug him. I'm like, just like I couldn't say anything after that. I just was staring about this, that. The flight at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, going was delayed. And I'm sorry, but I'm here now, and I'm here. And then I'm like, okay, you're here. Yeah, whew. And it like took a minute. I remember I even stood there and I was like, whew, okay, you're here. And then I don't know what happened the day after, but jumped to the other stuff. Anyway, so we went for dinner and it was lovely and we're having amazing stories. And oh no, we first went to like, yeah, basically that was that. We just did a few stuff and then we went for the place and it was really, really lovely. And we had an okay time, you know, like the conversation was amazing and then everything else was just okay. I mean, he was very tired, so we didn't we were both very tired because remember I hadn't slept and pretty much hadn't functioned.
Of course,
for the whole day and I, you know, but we had an okay time. I can't say it was like rainbows and butterflies and unicorns and sunflowers. But it was really, really nice. And I remember the next day even we went for lunch and he's like, wow, I never knew that there's a place like this in Wakanda. You know, I'm like, yeah, there's so many really pleasant, we had beautiful places around here and I can't wait for the next time we meet where we can really have time together, you know. So we're on the same page. But then towards the end of the day, I started feeling like he's a bit distant in my head.
Oh.
Right? So I don't know if it was the reality of him leaving or what. So I was just like, you know, maybe he's not feeling me as much as I thought. But in my hand, I was like, okay, I have this 24-hour period.
Yes, I better make the most out of it. Yeah.
And besides that, I was also like, this was just a reminder then being a mom of kids, being this professional, you know, there's more to me than my struggles, basically.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, cool. So I remember even at the airport, he had a bit of a delay. Oh, yeah. Funny thing, at the airport, there's like a jeweler, right? And they were like, I think there was like a showcase of gemstones or something like that. And then I was like, oh, let's just take a walk through since, you know, I've been through this whole, you know, engaged and stuff thingy. So let's just go and have a look at what diamond cards are like and blah. So when you finally marry someone, you know exactly what you want. Because he's like, I've never done this before. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then we went through the shop and blah, blah, blah. And we acted like we're an engaged couple, soon to be engaged couple.
Yeah.
Right. And then he left. Oh, then I left before his plane came because I had to go do some. I had already switched off because I was like, this person's gone.
Yeah.
It is what it is. There's no need for me to keep. I was actually now trying to look for money things, right? Because remember, I wasn't functional the day before. So, and then he leaves. We didn't talk much. We didn't talk as frequently as we were before he came. And, you know, he attributed that to jet lag and going back into school. And I was like, okay, cool, fair and fine. Then I talked to my friend, the one that said he was like a player back in in the post-varsity days.
Yes.
And then I sent him, I sent her a picture and I was like, I think it was like a one of those man crush Monday things or like blast from the plast kind of things. And then she's like, oh, really? He came? And I was like, yeah, he came. And then she's like, wait a minute, there's something I need to investigate about this guy. So her friend and his friend, her friend was dating his friend.
Yes,
her friend was his friend. And take note, this person is like my girl. So there's no way she's going to bullshit.
Of course, yeah.
No matter what. Yeah. It's going to be the truth all day, every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then she gets back to me later on and she's like, dude, where's his wife? And I'm like, what?
What?
And then she's like, is his wife in... No, sorry. So she says, his wife is in Wakanda. His wife is in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And he's in Neverland. What is that? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, this person is married. And I'm like, married?
Way.
I asked him. And let me find out the extent. And then she gets back because we're texting, you know, and I actually was in a training for work. Thank God I still have my job. Yeah. Clearly I was an airhead for that. And then she's like, so they didn't do traditional, whatever, our cultural thing, but they got married in court.
Oh.
They got married in court definitely before he left for Never Neverland.
No way.
Just before. And then I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, that's the tea. Sip the tea or spill the tea, but that's the tea.
Whoa.
And then I'm like, okay, cool. You're my person. I got you.
Yeah.
Right. Then a few hours later, Fred is like, hey, what's up? I'm just coming from class. It was a bit whack, but how's your day? How's training? Because remember, we're talking every day. So he knows my routine, what's going on in my life. And I think my child had been sick a few days before. So he was like, how's your child doing? Are they recovering and all that? And I'm like, oh. So before that would have been like, oh, sweet. So now I'm like straight into the detective work. And I'm like, oh, quick question. Do I was like, do you think I'm stupid or something? Then he's like, what? And then I said, I remember this conversation so clearly.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I have the word stupid tattooed on my forehead or something? And then he's like, what's going on? Like, so he thought that I was talking about my baby daddy because I was going through custody issues with him.
Yeah.
Right. Because is like, what did he do? What did he say? Are you okay? And then I said, this has nothing to do with anyone else. Just answer my question. Do you think I'm stupid or not? And then he's like, obviously I don't. Then I said, so if you don't think I'm stupid and you said I don't even have the word stupid on my forehead, then why did you lie to me? Then he said, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, okay, are you married or not? And then he's like, what did you hear? I said, what do you mean? What did I hear?
Wow. You went straight for the kill. You like, tell me, are you or you're not?
That's me when I'm yeah. It's either I'm a super romantic or I'm a realist. And when I'm a realist, I go in hard. So the romantic had gone. It was in the dustbin, gone, trash.
Yeah.
It's over. And then he's like, yeah, okay, let me explain. Yes, I did get married. I had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend or dad. I don't know, whatever the term was. And she was afraid that because I'm moving to Never Neverland, this promised land, I'll forget about her. So we went to sign at the courts just before I came here.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what the hell? That's not an kind of married or an almost married. You're married, man. You're more married than I ever was.
Yeah.
I'm not accountable to anybody. You're accountable to the law, right?
Wow.
And then he's like, yeah, I don't know what he started talking about. And then so I'm like in flip mode because I'm like trying to call him now. And he's like dropping my phone. He's like, no, I can't talk now. I'm embarrassed. No, I can't talk now. And I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to mean that you can't talk? Make me understand, because I asked you these questions. Now I've had feelings for a married person.
Yeah.
That I didn't even like. Better if I knew, because I said if I had known, then I would know what I would have done. Right?
Did
I don't know what I would have done.
You were obviously catching feelings and stuff, and he came around to see you because of these very same feelings, perhaps that you both had, or maybe you had more of, but whatever the case was.
Yeah.
So you guys had spent time together. Did you guys sleep together? Did you sleep with each other?
Yeah, we did. We did.
So in your head, you're thinking you slept with a married man as well?
Exactly.
Okay.
I was like, without even knowing it. That's the first thing I thought of.
Damn. Yeah.
So that really, really struck me.
Yeah.
And then, so then he's not answering my calls because now I want to talk to him, really to understand.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, my tone is off. Then I start texting now, no, I just really want to understand what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
Are you confused? Are you going through this? So now I'm giving him answers, right? I'm like, are you this? Are you that? Are you this? And he's like, nah, I just can't talk to you right now. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the truth. I was embarrassed that if I told you the truth, you wouldn't want to talk to me. I don't know, some other bullshit stuff that he said.
Yeah.
But the main gist was that.
Yeah.
Basically, I'd been caught and didn't know what to do with the being caught situation.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was that. So I felt like I mourned for the relationship twice.
Yeah. Man, that's really tragic, man. Because you guys were in love once upon a time. You're supposed to have a trip that didn't happen, so you had the memory of that you held on to.
Yeah.
And then an opportunity presented itself that had the same sort of feeling as what you guys were supposed to do when you were younger. And then it actually materializes, but the reality of it was completely different to what you thought it might be.
Completely.
I guess that ties into your 3 lessons very, very well, because it says, 1, don't create your own stories in your head. Fantasy and reality could be totally different. So, you had this fantasy in your head that that got so much in the way you couldn't eat, your taste buds went funny, you couldn't sleep.
Gone.
And then and then the reality of it, was just not it. I mean, I listened to you describing the time that you guys had. It didn't sound as exciting as it would have been for people who are anticipating seeing each other for so long.
Yeah. It wasn't.
And maybe this in part had to do with the fact that his conscience might have been troubling him.
That's what I started thinking after, when I now had the reality in my head. I think another lesson would be just to look back at how we broke up the first time round. Was he pretty much ghosted me.
Oh.
When we were going into university.
Yeah.
Right. So that holiday between finishing writing your exams and going to university.
Yeah.
He just stopped talking to me. And this was before cell phones and blah, blah, blah. And I literally then saw him at university and he's introducing me to his new girlfriend.
Wow.
So the second lesson would be people don't change. People don't change. They show you who they are, and then you're the one who then changes your own perception of them. But people stay the same. If I like eating with a fork and knife and I suddenly start saying I don't know how to use a fork and knife, then I'm just lying. Because when I'm alone, I eat with a fork and knife.
Wow. So people don't change. Take them at face value.
Exactly.
Better believe the colors they're showing you because they're true.
For sure. Oh, wow. You said it so perfectly. Yeah.
So out of curiosity, did you ever get to see his wife by chances and pictures were sent to you and stuff?
No.
No?
I didn't even investigate after that. I let it rest. I didn't look for him. I didn't. Remember we weren't even like friends on the social medias and them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the little that I did see would be what anyone would see if you were looking, which I think I had seen before. So I didn't even look for it. I mean, it wasn't my place.
And you know what? Well, one thing that really struck me is how loyal your friend really was. I mean, that's a friend for life, eh?
Oh, yeah. My people are my people.
Because they looked out for you. I know a few people around me where really, really close people have known something that could have made or broken somebody's marriage and they've kept quiet. And then when it goes wrong,
for real?
that's when they crept out of the woodworks and said, oh yeah, we thought you knew because this was something we had known for 5 years or so. And that sort of friendship broke up. It broke down because they were not loyal and they couldn't be loyal to their friends. So whoever this friend of yours is, man, get them a beer this weekend. They are super loyal.
I will. I'll do something. I actually spoke to her yesterday after like a long time. So it's fate that I'm talking about her again.
Oh man, that is so dope. So has this guy tried to contact you ever since that thing? Or he felt so bad he just crept back into his cave?
I'm the one who actually sent an email at some point, like months later. Yeah, don't judge me.
Saying
Shinto.
what?
Don't judge me.
Saying what?
I got a promotional pack from the what's it called? The travel agency that I used for his bookings.
Yeah.
For our bookings. Remember, we were talking back and forth. So I was like, is this place fine? Is this place bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we're deciding where we're going to go. So I got a promo pack from them. And then now I just forwarded this to him. And I was like, I can't believe this means nothing now.
But why did you probe him like that?
Because I was curious. I really, really wanted answers. I wanted him to explain why he did me like that.
You could have just asked a question, and just explain why.
Remember, I'd asked all the questions. Remember, I asked all the questions and he wasn't answering. He never answered my calls. He never responded to me. Besides saying he's embarrassed. The only thing he kept repeating is, "I'm embarrassed. I don't know what to say to you." So I thought, hey, 3 months later, you're not embarrassed no more. At least you can tell me the truth.
Yeah, no, he didn't want anything that could expose him to come out. He didn't want to feel worse than he did.
Yeah, so
about the situation.
That's that selfish behavior, isn't it?
Yeah, no, totally. So, a question for you: are you sure you've closed that off? Are you not going to send him another random email and say, "Oh yeah, I still can't believe this is not, something that's going on"?
Nah, Tinto, we're in a pandemic, dude. There's no time. There's no time to be trying to talk to people from the past. I've learned my lesson. I've done my time.
Yeah.
I'm out. I got my get out of jail free card.
Yeah,
I'm in a different space. Remember, this was when I was also mourning,
of course,
the loss of a marriage,
Yeah.
in essence. So I was not really I'm sure in his mind or on his side of the story, I also had my own issues, or I was way too needy or something.
Yeah,
because I wasn't in the best space. That's why I told you the whole situation before.
Of course,
but I've grown since then, and I love myself a whole lot more. It's really good to invest in your time, like in yourself, date yourself a little bit, which I think I've done. And yeah, so honestly, I think in as much as we hate COVID-19, it's given us some time to sit back and like assess who are we at the core, and
it's given some really good time to reflect in general for a lot of people.
Yeah, it can go away now, because we've done it.
Honestly, we've had enough of it. They're talking about us getting into different tier systems of lockdowns here, but people have had it, and honestly, relationships are some are failing, some are crumbling, because some people are starting to see that, this person is not really what I thought they were.
Yeah, for sure.
So, COVID just needs to end, for the benefit of the world and for the benefit of relationships and families.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks, man. This was a great story. Just a recap of your 4 main lessons. The first one is that don't create your own stories in your head, because fantasy and reality could be 2 really different stories, which is what we saw with your situation. Then the second one, leave your past in the past, and the first strike should always be the first strike. Don't try and revisit it. So you guys really shouldn't have reconnected after what you had in high school, because it turns out, I don't know, it just got messy. And then the third one, preserve the beautiful memories. Yeah, that memory that you had of you guys hoping to escape somewhere and do lula lula, should have been the memory that you preserved and left it at that point. Because when this one came to life, it really didn't feel like it hit the mark. I mean, if I was to put it out of 10, it felt as if your guys' time together was a 4.
Yeah, God, you nailed it. A 4. It's a 4. It's just under a fail.
Yeah, wow. I won't get into the details of that, but yeah, they just didn't feel that great. And then the last lesson was, people don't change. What they present to you now is what they are. So take their true colors as reality.
Yeah.
You've been listening to another Feeling Station podcast. I'm your host, Tinto, and I look forward to catching you in the next episode. Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Fantasies on Daro Raini and Chake Zaini.
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Fantasies on Daro Raini and Chake Zaini.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motoru noto kujidziru amai.
Kujidziru amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motoru noto kujidziru amai.